interesting things about the current crisis is that we've almost got no choice, right? I mean, you can't be command and control in this sort of dispersed multinodal existence we're all sort of sharing. I wanted to switch gears a little bit and talk about your most recent book. So it's been out for a year?
2 years next week.
Wow. Oh, it feels as though it was just yesterday.
I know.
That's amazing. So the book, for those of you that don't know, is called How Women Rise. And in the book, you're very specific about things that women do that hold themselves back,
Yeah.
and how we can get past those things. And I think it would be just wonderful if you wouldn't mind recapping a few of those bits of advice for our listeners.
Sure. How Women Rise, which I wrote, co-authored with Marshall Goldsmith, is very much about the habits and behaviors most likely to get in women's ways as they seek to move to a higher level in their organizations. And I think the ones, we have 12 habits or behaviors in that book, and we talk about how you can address them. I think the ones that have gotten the most response from people have been reluctance to claim your achievements, expecting others to notice and value your contributions, putting your job before your career, and the perfection trap, the getting caught up in trying to be perfect. We found that organizations, in fact, tend to reward women for being precise and correct and promote them on that basis, but that's not what senior leadership teams are looking for, precision and correctness. They're looking for strategic thinking, for big picture thinking, for vision, and for connections and visibility. So those things, those 4 of the 12 that I've elaborated there, they often work very much together. And you were talking earlier, that example about your daughter was fascinating to me, because what I find is that, a question I get so often when I'm talking about reluctance to claim your achievements and expecting others to spontaneously notice and value your contributions is women will say, well, how can I talk about what I've contributed, but make sure that nobody thinks I come off as arrogant or that I'm sort of an all about me person, or I appear too confident. So what I see from that question is the extent to which many women still feel that proactively managing everybody else's expectations or impression of them is in fact more important than being able to provide information. Here's what I've done, and here's what I can do. This is what I'm capable of. That's the information your organization and your leadership needs. So you don't need to proactively manage that. And one of the interesting things I've learned being in this a long time is that people also change their mind. Before I came in this field, I was in corporate communications. And I remember once as a very young staffer being in a meeting with a lot of senior guys, and there was a topic, and I shared my opinion. And as we were leaving, one of the senior guys came up to me and said, boy, you sure aren't afraid to share your opinion. Basically saying you were inappropriate, not aligned. And I don't know what got into me, but I just said, no, I'm not. I didn't say, oh, I'm sorry, was I inappropriate? And I didn't say, yes, I have a perfect right to. I just said, no, I'm not. And, about a month later, I heard him talking to a colleague in another room. And he said, what I like about Sally is she's not afraid to speak her mind. So I gave him a chance to get used to it. So we need to stop being that involved in proactively being terrified anyone anywhere might think we're overconfident. That's what you were demonstrating to your daughter.